Alright, this video is about converting your bike from straight stereo into tapered. So I'm gonna have to use my torch to show you that mine was tapered. So this here, what I have at the top, is known as ZS44, what means that the internal circumference of the head tube is 44mm internal circumference, right? When it says ZS44/28.6, the 28.6 is the external diameter of the top part of the head tube, not the spacer, the actual head tube that goes through the bike. The bottom one is known as EC. EC means external cup. Now, when you see the EC44, EC44 is just telling you that the internal diameter of the head tube is 44mm. However, the cup external circumference, not this part, the part that goes into the frame, and this one goes in the frame, is 44mm. Now, if I go underneath, if I use my torch and you look up, you can see for yourself that's tapered. You can see the groove, what goes up. If I can get the light up in there, you can see the groove. Let me just do that. Kind of hard to see, but if you look, if I do something like that, you can see there's a groove. That's a groove part that shows you that goes from 1.5 tapered into 1/1/8 what's at the top. So there you go. That's me looking inside the head tube, so you can see the groove yourself. And if you look carefully, I'll show you on my forks. If you people are still watching the video up to this point, then I give you my thanks. So don't leave just yet. Let me show you. Now you see this part here, down here, it says 15 times 110mm. It means that this is boost, right? The 51mm is to do with the offset. It's to do with how far this is forwards from the fork. That's your offset over there, like the distance between here and here. So this part here you see says it's 15mm 110mm boost. It says 27.5, 29. So you could put 27. You could put that 27.5 was known as 650B, or you could put 29s onto this, onto your actual onto your on these forks. So boost will only go onto bikes that has tapered. You won't be able to buy yourself a boost fork that will fit onto a 1/1/8. 1/1/8 will never have a boost fork. So this is just me showing you that is tapered. That's tapered down here. That's the top, that's the bottom. So this is tapered. So this is the part that goes into 1.5. So because it's external, right? Now it's got the space to take 1.5 inch into it, where this is like 1 1/4 at the top. So the reason why I recommend going for either Hope or Chris King, I think with Chris King, I think the Chris King one was, you're gonna have to go onto the website to check, but I'm very certain with the Chris King one, I think it was the Inset 7. However, I have to look up the information. However, I 100% know about this. Now, the best thing about the Chris King and Hope, right, with Hope Tech, they make it that you do not have to cut it down. Because what it is, when you buy yourself like a the actual the cups with nuke proof and other companies, you see that little groove, this groove here, that is where your headset will bottom out in. With Hope, they made sure that it only come up to probably around here, somewhere like that. So you still got plenty of space and it doesn't bottom out. Because most people would have to cut off at least that much and then press it back in. So if you don't want to be messing around with tools cutting your headset, go with Hope. Because Hope and Chris King cuts it at a proper length where when you can press it in, it just fits in nice. So just make sure when you're putting in your headset, please put grease. You need to have grease on your cups. If you put grease on your cups, when it comes to compressing into the frame, It makes it easier because you want to have some lubrication for it to come in more easier. And get yourself a proper headset tool. Please do not use a hammer doing that and stuff like that. You just get yourself a nice proper headset compression tool for it just to go in nicely, and you're good to go. Once you put that in, you're good to go. So that's what you have to do, and you could go tapered, because once you go tapered at the front, you know what that means? This bike on the Specialized website says you can only put a maximum of 100mm travel forks. Now I could put any fork what is 1.5 100mm at the front of the bike, so that's good already. So now I have all the options. Now if I want to go towards and say I want to buy a front wheel, there's no wheel I can't put at the front. I could put on like the Hope Pro 4s, Fortis 26, Fortis like 23. I could put the Hope Pro 5, Fortis 23 or 26, because the Hope Pro 5 is a new hub. So you could choose the wheel set you want. You can do the one what comes with the Pro 4, the one what comes with Pro 5, right? You can run like you can run Chris King at the front. You can run Industry 9, Nuke Proof, some Ringle. You can run like any Mavic rim, anything will run at the front, because with these forks, right? My one's boost, so I can run any boost wheel at the front. Any 29 boost wheel with 50mm for axle, I can run it at the front of my bike. So that's the best thing I love about this one. So what I'm saying, once you get that done, then you got all the options. Now, the only thing is, when it comes to your group set may be a little bit limited. So let me just turn the bike around and we talk about the group set. So if you are still here watching the video, you will definitely gonna learn some good information if you keep staying around. So here we go. Now we have this now. Now this is your group set. Now, because most of the wheels, they run onto microspline. Microspline is their new driver body compared to the normal HG, like the Hyperglide one, you know. Microspline is the newer version, to the Hyperglide, what's the standard for most bikes. Then you got SRAM, where they got the XD drive. Now, by looking here, the wheels that you could buy for the back of the bike, as it is 135mm, you can only be able to buy the wheels that has Hyperglide cassettes. Hyperglide drive bodies on it. So only Hyperglide cassettes can go into it. So what the issue that you can have with your back wheel is, when it puts on your back wheel, you're gonna be limited to wheels like Nuke Proof Neutrons that I have here, the Nuke Proof Horizon V2s, right? You have to get like the Hope Pro 4 or Hope Pro 5, what's the 135, and you could pick any rim to build it onto, 29-inch rim, and that you're good to go with. They've got a company like Brand X and stuff like that. Or if you got the money to spend, you could go towards the company what's called Industry 9. If you're a man who don't mind spending for high quality built wheels, like one of the best wheels out there, Industry 9, prepare to be paying a lot of money. You have all the customization. You could do all different color flags on the spokes. There's many things that you could do. But the thing is, when you go for 135, you're going to be very, very limited with what you can actually buy. So with bikes like this, you're going to be limited to SRAM NX. You're going to be limited to Shimano Dio, what's 11-speed group set. So when you're buying a bike like this, fair enough, you can get away with the front of going with tapered at the front. The only issue is that you may have a little limitation at the back. well, more than little limitation. You're gonna have like selected wheels that you can get, but you just gotta keep in your mind that your group set will be limited because of the actual the drive shell. The drive shell at the back is the issue because it's hyperglide. So what people may call the drive body, drive shell is still talking to the same thing. So you gotta keep that in mind, because these bikes you can't be running like 142, you can't run 148, you can't run these sizes on this bike. So these things are very limited. So this is the reason why, if you really want true bike upgrades, then you must go through a bike that has 148mm at the back. It's known as over lock nut dimensions. So that's what it's actually called. So sometimes they may write it as that. So it should be, I think they will write it as OLD. So if you see a word that says O.L.D, what's look like it says old, it means over lock nut dimensions. So if you have a bike with 148mm at the back, that means you get all the wheels at the back, all the wheels at the front, and really and truly, fair enough, you could turn this to tapered, that's a good thing. But if you really want all the customization, then please go for a bike that's got 148mm at the back. That way everything will run in your bike. You can run micro spline, you can run XD drive, you can run all the wheel sets, everything you want. So it's best to go with a bike that supports boost wheels, because 148mm is known as boost. 142mm at the back means non-boost, right? 100mm at the front means non-boost. 110mm at the front means boost. So this is the things you've got to look out for when you're upgrading the bike. So you're going to have limitations in this bike. So if you're a person who's looking to truly kit out your bike, then what you have to do, because with SRAM NX, with SRAM NX GX, X1 and XX1, you can mix and match because it all got the Eagle technology. They all got Eagle technology. So let me just give you like a random build. So let's say we go with like Hope Fortis 26, right, front and back, and they're running the Hope Pro 5 hubs. Okay, now I got the quick release, I put that on the back wheel. Let's say I put some Victoria Mazcal, what's good for hard pack at the back, and I put the Barzos, right? The Barzos is literally superior to the back tire. However, the back tire is better for the hard pack, but the front end is better for, especially when you're cornering into that mud, gravel. The Barzos just handle it far much better. So you want to put the bars at the front, Mezcal at the back. Then I'll be like, okay, when it comes to the actual, to the groups, so when it comes to the group set, I could change the actual cranks. Why? Because yeah, fair enough, it may have NX cranks on it. However, they all got the same design where you tighten up the lock ring, right? So I could put like XX1 cranks onto this bike, put the XX1 chain and XX1 derailleur, but however it has to be running onto the either NX. You have to run either on the NX or the SX cassette, but you want to run it on the NX one. Then you can come up here and say, yeah, I could put like a XX1 up here. Then you can say, okay, you could put anything you want. You could put Chris Kings on this, right? You could put what's it called? Is it the? I think it's the Fox Float. Is it Fox Float 32? Fox Float 32. What's the cross country Fox at 100mm? You got the RockShox Recons I have here. You think you could put the Judys on? There's many forks you could put on. You could put any bars you want. Like if your person was into spank, You can put race face bars, Eastern bars, like you could put any type of stem that you want to put on your bikes, like Thompson stem, Thompson seat post, I don't know, Trivitis stems, Husserfeld components, anything you want to put onto the bike, it will just go into the bike. You can put like DMR Volt pedals onto your bike. There's many things you could do to the bike. You can customize a whole bike. However, the only limitation that you may have is going to be like the wheels that you can get onto the bike. You're limited by the drive shell. The drive shell is the number one limitation of the bike. You see, to solve this issue is very simple. Companies know they can do it, but companies are not going to do it. So the only thing that a company has to do is very simple. Make a 135, like make a 142 wheel, right? Like 142mm wheel, able, right, to go 135, right? 135, and we're able to run on these type of bikes. That's all they need to do. Just find a way how to just make it run. Even if you had to make the bottom bracket, even you have to make the hub shell a little bit more narrow or something, just do something just to make it run. Because once you can run like a XD drive or a microspline and it's 135, you're good to go. You're good to go. It's only because they're not adding that feature. This is the reason why you're so limited on the bike. So that's the biggest issue that you're gonna have with this bike, because the only thing what's stopping you is that drive shell, is that drive body, because it's Hyperglide. That's old technology, so that's what limits the whole bike upgrade. And if you can't find no wheels, then you can't run the bike. So that's the biggest issue, the biggest problem of upgrading the bike. So these are the things you have to look out for when you're upgrading. So it's just the drive shell was the issue, what the cassette goes on, that creates the whole limitation for the bike. So for the front of the bike, you can get away with this because you can easily turn this tape and everything like this. This part is not the problem. This is easy to go. The biggest problem of upgrading everything, it's just this down here, what this goes on to. It's a Hyperglide. It's just the biggest culprit to this whole thing. So if they just made this to take microspline and Hyperglide, then none of this would have been a problem. So that's the only issue.